Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody, and welcome to ReZOO, the Zoo Review Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Baker, and today I am joined once again by my incredible co-host and fellow passionate zoo lover, the one and only Jodi McFarlane. Say hello, Jodi.
Hello, everyone.
Presented by Pangolin, the Conservation Podcast. This sister show promises to explore, appreciate, and highlight the fantastic conservation work of zoos from around the world, while also offering a perspective on the visitor experience.
Today, we are doing things a little bit differently by revisiting the site of our first ever ReZOO, the brilliant Chester Zoo.
That's right, it's the ReZOOnion you've all been waiting for.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry. Today we are going to be casting our eyes over Chester once again, talking about what we missed last time and anything that has changed since we visited at this time last year. So, without further ado, let's get started. And welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us once again for another exciting episode of ReZOO, where today we are doing things a little bit differently. Instead of going somewhere new and exciting that we had never been before, today we are going back and we are ReZOOniting with one of our old friends, the lovely, the wonderful Chester Zoo. Because we thought, well, it was our first ever ReZOO. We were maybe new at it. We thought we had more to say about it. We thought there was new things that we might have missed, new things that had been developed since last time, a whole new range of just stuff to discuss since January 2022, all those months ago when we released our first one. I know it
doesn't even feel that long ago.
No. It's still our most listened to ReZOO.
Is
it? Yep. So it was a
Oh.
two-parter. If you haven't listened to it yet, go back, because we might reference back to that episode. This one will definitely be shorter, because we managed to spend 2 hours starting sort of kind of like recording it the first time, and I think this time we have to try and keep it a bit shorter.
Yes.
I think
just the highlights this time.
Yes, because we've covered it in majority the last time. This is just some little bonus stuff, some stuff that's changed, and yeah, I'm excited to do something a little bit different. If you like this format, let us know, because I'm always at London Zoo, it seems like. I always end up there.
You're there like at least once every 2 months.
Yes,
so
I will be.
content.
Yeah, I think actually when I plan to release this, I'll have been a third or fourth time since I released the first ReZOO. So, there's opportunities to do other ones like this. So yeah, let us know what you think. What we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about how excited we were to kind of go back. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the new stuff, which kind of falls into 3 B's. Bats.
Oh, okay.
Bats.
Bats. Mm-hmm.
Boats.
Boats, yes.
And babies.
Oh.
So we're going to talk
Lovely.
about bats, boats, babies. We're going to talk a little bit about the plant project, the Youth Symposium, and their Christmas lights.
Lovely.
It's exciting. And then we'll come back at the end and kind of do a little wrap up, maybe reflect on any changes that have happened as well. So, yes, to get us started, Jodi, I will hand over to you because I've been rambling for a while now. Were you excited to go back to Chester?
I was very excited to go back to Chester. And even though I had been before, I feel like if anything, maybe I was more excited this time round because now I knew what to expect and I knew how good it was. So I knew that I could be hyped for it.
Yes, I thought it was good, and I was also excited because we had friends coming with us this time who knew the zoo inside and out, because we were with Connor, who was on our Bristol Zoo episode, and multiple other episodes of the podcast. He just won't leave us alone. So he was there. He obviously is on the youth board at Chester, and so he was able to give us a little insights into everything that was going on. So yeah, I was excited, and yeah, I can't say more than that. I feel like I was absolutely buzzing to go back. I ended up there 3 months in a row visiting Chester.
That's not a bad thing.
No, and I don't regret a single one of those visits.
No.
Every single one, it was worthwhile going.
Yeah.
And I learned something new and I loved it. So
I think that's the thing about Chester, because it's so big.
Yes.
You know, there's always going to be some new detail to appreciate or something that you missed last time. And it's just good. And when we went this time, we kind of went a different loop than we'd gone the first time. So it meant that we could sort of take it in from a different perspective almost. So it kept it fresh and interesting, even though we had been before.
Yes, I think so. And yeah, and we also knew the bits that we'd missed out on last time.
Yeah. Or the bits we kind of had to whiz round because we were running out of time. It's quite nice for me to go back and not be like looking at the clock and panicking that I wasn't going to see it all, because I knew I had seen it all the first time. So now I could go at a more leisurely pace.
And actually, that's reminded me of something I hadn't even noted down. Something we missed the first time. And I think leads us nicely into this adventure. Because it's the first thing you come to. Even before you go through the zoo gates. We, the first time, forgot to go into the elephant house.
The elephant house, yeah. We missed it on the map.
Yeah, so I had been when I was younger, and I knew it was there, but I just kind of I saw it when we went in and thought, we'll come back to it, and then we never did. So we missed it. But we did go in this time, and I wondered what your thoughts on the elephant house were.
It was nice, yeah. Big space, which obviously it has to be if it's housing many elephants. Yeah, no, it was good. And I feel like we went, although that would be the first thing that you would hit, we kind of went at the end of the day. I think that was the last thing we looked at on our way out, because we remembered that we had to see it this time. And we went in, and it was just a really nice bit to go to, like right at the end of the day. The elephants were starting to come inside for the day, and it was really chilled. It was nice. Had a nice walkway up to it as well. I remember that bit.
Yeah, and it had, what I like about Chester and what I think is fantastic is that each area is not just here's the elephant house. It's here's the elephant house, which is exciting enough. Plus, you walk up, there's a bunch of little squirrely things. You go in, there's little fish. They have the Luzon clouded rats in there. There's hornbills. There's all sorts of really interesting stuff that make it more than just a big... Because elephant houses in some places do just feel like big, like, empty, massive houses.
This is a big space for a big animal. But this one paid attention to the little details in amongst it as well, which was lovely. Yes,
and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was fantastic. I really, really appreciated, like, all the little touches, because at the end of the day, I have been accused many times of having a mammal bias, that I love mammals more, and that is not entirely true. I love mammals. The pangolin, a mammal. Of course, the show is named after it. We love mammals. But I do appreciate a fish. I am a fishy boy at heart because of the aquarium that I worked in. I like a weird insect. I liked a weird bird. So having those extra things, I think, really is... It just adds a level that not a lot of zoos think about. Yeah. And I think that's really, really nice. And I really, really liked it.
And I always appreciate, like, the juxtaposition of a big, massive animal like an elephant surrounded by all these little teeny ones, like some little fish and
rats.
Little cloud rats. And yeah, I just feel like it's a good comparison to have big and small.
Yeah. And if you've never seen a cloud rat before, look it up.
They're
because
great.
They look like they look like clouds. They're just like these little grey puffballs, and I love them. I love them so much. And yeah, I mean, this year I feel like I've really grown in an appreciation for rats, because there was the big was it the Malagasy jumping rats they had at London in the blacked out area. And yeah, I feel like they're just like weird, cool things that we don't talk about enough, and I love them. Yeah, so big props to those as well. Now, on to our bees.
Yes.
We were going from one big, seemingly, like, big... Oh, no, that was a terrible transition. I was trying to be too clever, and I wasn't. We're going from one big animal... Going to change it completely. We're going from one big animal to one very, very small animal. But an animal that you loved this year at Bristol Zoo. And have developed a weird connection with. Yeah. Which is the fruit bats, and I think it's called Fruit Bat Forest. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, so when we went to Chester last time, this was closed. Yes. And I think you knew what it was because you had been previously. Yes. So you were able to tell me about it. I can't remember why it was closed the first time. But...
I think COVID.
COVID times. Yeah, because it was a walkthrough. So we couldn't go through it, but it was open this time. So when you go through, for a start, it's massive. Yeah. Like, it's not just a little kind of thin walk through, you just follow this little tiny narrow path. No. Big, massive, cavernous space with a windy path. It is pretty much pitch black. Yeah. So if you don't like the dark, maybe don't go through here. But yeah, and you're going through and you're just kind of aware of like things flying around you. So again, if you don't like that kind of vibe, maybe this isn't the house for you. But it was great. And then as you rounded the corner, there was a big, was it like a moon?
Yes.
Like a big moon, so then you could see them sort of flying in front of them, like the silhouette of these bats flying in front of the lit up moon, and it was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm not even like a particularly Halloween-y kind of person, but if you went here at Halloween, spot on.
Yeah, it's very, yeah, they nail it. It's very, the Addams Family theme tune is just going through my head right now, just like over and over and over again. No, and what I liked even about it was the moon, you saying the moon reminded me, was that sometimes in these types of houses, it can be impossible to get a photo of anything that lives in the dark.
Yeah.
Because it's often under red light.
Yeah.
It's often really like hard to see and all sorts of things. And obviously you don't want to use a flash because that's just not good for the animals. It's going to cause a bit of an issue. So the moon being a bright white light in the darkness, if the bats were in front of it, provided an excellent spot to get not a brilliantly like high HD picture of like
the details of the bat.
details,
yeah.
but you could get such cool, incredible silhouetted pictures, and I think that was a really nice touch for like people who are into the photography aspect alongside. My favorite element apart from the moon is the tunnel that you have to go through, because I have so many memories of childhood of like my mum and sister going through that, just like absolutely terrified of the fact that the bats are just like all up at your face.
I would say like as you're walking through, you have to go slow, because my biggest fear was I couldn't really see my feet in front of me, and I thought if I stand on something squishy like now, oh my goodness, like it is quite tricky to see where you're going. So maybe just take it nice and slow, and just don't panic if you feel something whooshing past your head. But
yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, and yeah, I love them, and I think it's just something a bit different and a bit special that stands out.
Yeah.
Because
I've never really been to anything like that before.
No, and it's a big space. Like a lot of zoos that would eat a lot of space, and I think they just wouldn't risk maybe doing that for
something like bats, which a lot of people might not like, so they would bypass that area. Yeah. Like no, they've gone, no, we're doing it for the bats. We're highlighting them. Yeah,
and I appreciate that. I definitely had a couple bats fly at my face, which definitely caused me to say some things that I should not have been saying, because they are bad words. But I still enjoyed it, and I still would give it a 10 out of 10. Really loved. Loved. So yeah, I'm glad we got to visit it this time, because I do think it adds a lot to the experience, because it is something different. So yeah, I'm glad you got to experience it, and it lived up to the bat hype. Yeah.
And now all I'm thinking is, you know that little girl that's like, it's freaking bats. I love Halloween.
No.
Do you not know who that is?
No.
Oh, no, I love her. All the
What
little
is
videos
it?
of her, and then she's also got one when she's like, I smell like beef.
No.
Jack's looking at me like, what are you talking about? The little blonde girl. And every year at Halloween, it comes back, this little meme of her being like, it's freaking bats. No. Oh, listeners, back me up. You must know her.
Okay. I don't, but sure.
It's a thing, and it's what it's making me think of.
Yes. Okay, fair. We'll give you a pass, that's fine. Maybe it's me. But
you're missing out. She's great.
Okay.
Go look her up.
I will. After this recording is done, I'll go and listen and see if your impersonation is actually any good. Moving on from that swiftly, we move on to perhaps the second of our Bs. Mm-hmm. Well, definitely I don't know why. Perhaps it's definitely the second of our Bs. That being boat. I was so excited about the boat. Were you?
Yeah, I'm smiling as we're talking about it.
I know, but I thought it was one of your pained fake podcast smiles.
No, I like the boat. I enjoyed the boat.
So we Chester Zoo has a boat ride where you are put in a boat round their islands area, and you get to go round and you get to see the species like the cassowary, the tigers, the anoa, all sorts of kind of their island species. And we didn't get a chance to go on it last time because we were in a bit of a rush and we thought we don't want to queue. And so, yes, I thought you didn't want to do the boat because you'd be worried we get stuck in a queue for ages and didn't want to do it. But did you actually enjoy the boat?
Yeah, I liked the boat.
Okay, why?
The boat was one of my highlights. I think just because we didn't get to do it last time. And as you say, we went to islands later on in the day and we thought, we don't have much time left. We need to make the most of it. So spending maybe like 45 minutes of it in a queue for a boat and then however long the boat ride takes, we just don't have that time. So because we were having a little bit more of a chilled pace this time and we didn't mind if we missed a few things because we'd seen them before, we thought, we're going to go on the boat just to experience it. And we went there. It was one of the first bits we went to, so it was still quite quiet. And I just feel like it is a bit of a novelty thing. Perhaps it's more aimed at like families with children, but we were 4 adults queuing for that boat and we loved it.
Well, are we adults?
Well, I had a great time on the boat.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really liked it. I liked kind of just having a new perspective on some of the animals that we'd seen from above.
It was nice because it meant you got to see their enclosures from a different perspective.
Yes.
So that was a good aspect of it.
Yeah, and we actually saw quite a lot of stuff, I think. Like, we saw, like, the Anoa, we saw... did we see that? We saw the warty pigs, maybe the cassowary. I think we saw some stuff.
Yeah.
And even if you don't see a lot of stuff...
You're on a boat.
You're on a boat.
Yeah.
We definitely saw those
fun.
little monkeys. What are they called? I think the black... They're like little black monkeys that were near the Sulawesi... macaques? Something like that.
Oh, I can't
We saw some of
remember.
them, definitely. And yeah, I like it because it was just a way to kind of slow the day down, have a nice time.
And I feel, now that we've been on it once, I don't feel that I need to rush back to the boat the next time.
Yes.
But I'm glad that we did do it. And like every time we went past, there was always a queue for it. So it is a popular thing.
Yeah, and I think the good thing though was that they kept the boats running.
Yeah.
They were going at such a pace that it didn't feel like, even if you were in the queue, you felt like the queue was constantly moving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like...
So there was always
okay.
more boats pulling up.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just a little novelty thing. Like, you know, it just makes there be something different in that area that sticks in your mind and makes it feel different and exciting. So I just think, star for the boat.
Yes, exactly, because, yeah, I do feel like...
Did we need the boat? No. But did we love the boat? Yes.
I love that.
That's
I love
how I
that.
feel about the boat.
Yes.
I think that
yes.
sums it up. So,
Yeah.
if you're listeners, if you're going and you're swithering about the boat, I would say if you've got time to kill, why not? If you're in a bit of a rush, maybe miss it and do it next time.
Yes. And I'm gonna... I stopped myself there because I started cringing at the joke myself, but I am gonna ruin one of Connor's jokes.
Uh-huh.
Because I need it to be heard by everybody now so he can't tell it again to nobody else in the world because it's so bad.
Did I hear this joke?
Yes, when we were on the boat and we passed the Anoa, which is a beautiful cow, a bit like a banteng that I love.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another top 10 animal for me, really. Loved it. Every time I've seen the Anoa with Connor, whether it be on boat, on foot, anywhere, he makes a point of stopping and saying, "That animal looks familiar. I think Anoa."
Oh, I think I blocked that out because I don't remember that.
No, it was terrible. And now that it's on the podcast, you can't use that joke again, Connor, please. Nobody else needs to hear it. It's gotten all of the audience that it could possibly get. And that's all we need to discuss on the matter. We're done. We're done. Moving on from that.
Yes, moving on from the boat.
Swiftly. We've done bats, we've done boats, and of course the third B, babies.
Yes.
Since the last time we were at Chester, it seems like everything has
Had a
reproduced.
baby. Yes. Everything.
Constantly,
Yep.
something is having a baby. And their social media team, I'm going to take a moment to stop. Their social media team, knocks it out the park every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. Beyond any other zoo in the UK, beyond any other zoo that I follow around the world, with perhaps the exception of Cincinnati Zoo, because Fiona and Fritz, the hippos, really nail everything. So
I
apart
don't
from
follow
that,
them on any social media, but the algorithm of my social media keeps suggesting it for me. So I am following the story of Fritz.
You
Loving
need to.
it.
You need to. I'm gonna release this after Christmas, so I can tell you now. I'm in a Secret Santa with someone, and they love Fritz. They love him. So Cincinnati Zoo offers a virtual membership where you can buy, I think it's $25, and it gets you access to a live webcam of the hippo thing. So I'm going to get her that for Secret Santa.
That's such a good idea.
I think so. So, yeah, Cincinnati Zoo, the first time it's been mentioned on the pod.
I know.
I'd love to go someday. Fly me there and pay for the trip and I'll be there. But no, so I feel like that's a nice, thoughtful thing.
Yeah.
But back to Chester.
Anyway, yes.
Back to Chester. They knock the social media out of the park when it comes to babies. Every time there's an announcement, they put together little videos.
I know.
Little cute things of them
Adorable.
running around and playing. Whoever does the video, I was going to say videos and then videography at the same time, so it all stumbled over each other. Whoever does the videography and takes all the pictures, all of that stuff, fantastic. I don't know who standardized that and made it a thing, but like
It works.
it works and it's great. And like always seems to get, like, recently, we'll come to it in a second. Actually, maybe we can start with it because we didn't actually see this animal and then we can get past it because we can use it as an example here. But recently they had Nessa, the baby tapir, born.
Yeah.
And that ended up on like BBC News and all sorts of stuff because it was like such a big thing that like this, and the way that they produced all those videos and the photos they put
like
out
TV
and everything,
ready.
like, it's just ready to go.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's like hangover from when they had the TV show about Chester,
Maybe, yeah.
or whether it's like just kind of whoever's in charge of social media has a really strong vision. I don't know what it is, but I do think it's
consistent,
excellent.
isn't it? Because it's always the same vision.
Yes, it's always the same.
It.
I think they put everything through the same filter as well, because like all
Yeah.
of the photos. And yeah, I really love their work. And so yeah,
And now we have to go back to see the baby tapir.
I know. I'm actually devastated that this is like the first month in months that I've not been at
You're not
Chester
going.
Zoo.
I know.
And I'm like, why? Because tapirs are one of my favourite animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we talk about them pretty much every show that we can. Like, they're amazing, bizarre, weird little guys. The babies, they call them baby watermelons
They're all
because they're
spotty
just
and
spotty
stuff.
and small
Yeah.
and just the best.
They're so cute.
And I love them, and they've got their little snoots, and they're just... I just love them. So that's one baby ticked off.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Second baby that we saw many of were the baby so excited I can't even say it. Baby capybaras.
Oh, yes.
Do you want to talk about the capybaras?
Yes. So, I didn't know that I loved capybaras as much as I do until I saw them at Chester. I loved them. I could have stood there all day. They were like, I feel like an adult capybara is cute enough because they're just quite little and dumpy and they're just quite cute.
Yeah.
And then I saw the babies and lost my mind.
Yeah.
And there's not much, as we've discussed many times, I don't get enthusiastic very often. But when I saw these little babies, I just turned into this ball of mush, just standing there going, oh, Jack, they're so cute, look at the babies. And he was like, well, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
But I was having a great time.
Yeah.
It really was. And I think it worked because where their enclosure is, you could just stand and like turn around and look at the bears behind us and like take photos of them and leave me to it while I was like crying over the baby capybaras.
Yeah,
They were
it's a
so
huge space for capybara.
Yeah.
Like a huge space. Because they share it with the anteater.
Yeah.
But it's huge. Like, there's so much stuff going on, like room for them to just frolic and play.
I feel like as well, the adult ones are fairly chilled. Like, they're normally just kind of
oh yeah, but the
sitting about,
babies,
standing. These little
mental.
babies were like little flying blobs of fur.
Yeah.
They were just dashing about everywhere and oh, I was mesmerised.
Yep.
So cute.
And
Didn't think I would love them or that they could be so cute. But the baby ones, yes.
Yeah, and
Spot on.
they're equally as mesmerising when they're doing nothing at all.
Yeah, because they're
Like-
just cute to look at.
Yeah, they're just like these little fur balls, and we love them.
Yeah, and I know that
Excellent.
our thing is like, we don't just like things because they're cute. We
But-
want to be more interesting than that. But actually, in this case, no. I have nothing else to say about them other than they are ridiculously cute. And I
Yeah.
love them now forever.
Yeah, okay. You
I
should've-
make that pledge here and now on the podcast. I will love capybaras forever.
forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yes.
I love that. I love that so much. And I agree. Like, they're just so charismatic, so beautiful. They're so funny, so chunky, so just great.
But, do you know though, I've just had a more intelligent thought about this
Okay.
rather than just they're cute. We always say about zoos, one of the important jobs that they have is to like inspire a love for nature or animals or whatever.
Yeah.
So isn't it fantastic that Chester having these lovely babies and having them out is like captivating an audience that, you know, I'm not like naive to zoos and animals and stuff. Like someone who, even
You're
as a zoo
re-inspired.
person, I can be continually inspired by things that I didn't know I loved
Yeah.
beforehand. I've now fallen in love with a brand new species that I was neither here nor there about before,
Yeah.
just because of this visit.
Yeah.
So they're still pulling in a captive audience here. It's great.
I love that. That's so. No, like, that is a good intelligent
Yeah.
point. Were you equally as enamoured by the baby fossa?
Right. By them themselves, yes, they were excellent. What I did not enjoy was what felt like the 4 hours that the 3 other people I was with stood at their glass taking photos of them for. And I loved them. But I was like, I don't think we need a 7,000th picture of the baby fossa.
You could never have too many pictures of the baby fossa, ever.
Well, the photographers would argue that, but I'm not a photographer. So I was kind of like,
They're so cute. Though.
They
You
are
have to
so
at least
cute.
say they're cute.
They are. They were adorable. But,
Yeah.
I think I was less enamoured with them by the end.
Okay. Well, to give a realistic perspective, for someone who doesn't know what a fossa is, how would you describe a fossa?
Oh, like a little... well, their ears are kind of like... They stick up, but they're not pointy. They're more like round.
Yes.
But then it's like a little... Not quite a cat, not quite a dog, but then
With
like...
a long tail.
Long, windy tail, and then like big... You know, like puppies when they're little, they've got big paws.
Yeah.
Like big paws and just jumping about all over the place, really energetic, like a little kitten or a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Or like some kind of little, like a big cat cub. Like, just that kind of vibe. Just, but like with little mouse ears.
Yeah, they're just kind of out of proportion.
Yeah, it's like a strange little mix of a few different animals.
Yeah, if someone took a cat and then smooshed it together, like if a cat and a dog ran into each other at high speed and then got stretched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the ears and the tail of a mouse.
Yes.
Just, yeah.
So if a cat,
weird.
a dog, and a mouse ran together at high speed,
smoosh. Yeah.
and turned into just a blob of another animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird little things.
But charismatic and lovely nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I, as one of the photographers, will now come in and say they're fantastic. They're beautiful. They are an incredible species found only on the island of Madagascar.
Mm-hmm.
They are they primarily eat lemurs.
Yes,
they
which
are
people will know if they've watched the film Madagascar.
Yes. They are just wonderful, 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 wonderful creatures. And I think to have the opportunity to see three little baby fossa jumping around and doing what they were doing is something you won't see very often.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it was special to me.
I mean, it was special to me the first and probably the second time that we went to visit them. But by the third and fourth time we'd gone to visit them, I was definitely like, okay, I've seen my fill of baby fossa. I can move on. What I did appreciate though, and what I'm sure we mentioned last time, is that it's just funny how you've got fossa over here, a big glass window, and then over this side, another big glass window into the...
Shifaka.
Yeah, and like the lemurs are just over there, and it's always like,
Buffet style lunch. Yeah. But you know.
Like, and I get they're all grouped together because it's Madagascar, but I'm always like, this is interesting for them.
Yes.
I'll keep them busy.
Yes. What I'm actually going to do, you've just reminded me.
Uh-huh.
The last time I was there, I was with Felix.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another visit that I was at Chester in the last year. I seem to have been there all the time. I was with ex-podcast guest and friend of the show, Felix.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in the lemur section, and they kept just losing their minds. Like, completely just started screaming at each other, and it was like, obviously not great to watch animals. They weren't fighting, they were more just screaming at each other. Not like the most pleasant noise in the world to hear, but it was fascinating to hear these kind of vocalizations.
Are crazy.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I videoed it.
Oh.
You can probably hear me and Felix talking in the background being like, I'm going to put this in the podcast. But I'm going to put that in now.
Uh-huh.
So please enjoy the sounds of lemurs shrieking at each other. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the sound of that.
I think so. Until you hear that and you experience it for yourself, you wouldn't expect lemurs to make that noise.
No.
Like the first time I ever heard them make a noise, I was like, what is that?
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
for
terrifying.
such little creatures as well to make that kind of noise. It's like, it's horrible.
Like when we went to play Drummond just
Yep.
a couple of weeks ago, and we were the only people in their lemur section, like the lemur walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
When their black and white lemurs, rough lemurs, started screaming at each other, I was actually like, I don't want to be in here by myself. Like, I don't want to be
Get
here.
out.
Yeah. Like, so fascinating, so cool, so scarily dangerous, and I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, lemurs, fossa. We kind of went off track there, but that's us.
That's fine.
So yeah, final
So is
baby.
that the 3 Bs?
Well, there's one
another
final baby,
Oh.
which
Who?
you did not get to see.
Oh yeah.
Miss Gia. the little rhino,
Mm-hmm.
who is a greater one-horn rhino, which was born probably days after Jodi left
Yeah.
Chester.
And it seems to be a thing. Like, whenever we leave, something else pops out a baby.
Yeah.
It's like as if to entice us to be like, come back, come back.
Yeah, but after your trip, I went back because I
Yes.
was going down for their youth symposium, so I got to see the cute little baby. And they're just fantastic. Like, they're like, I saw Izzy, who's also on the youth board at Chester, describe it, and she described it so well. Like, a baby greater one-horned rhino is like a big rhino, just shrunk. Like, it
Yeah.
looks exactly the same. It's still wrinkly. It's like all these weird things. Like, it looks like a grown-up, just little.
Just a miniature
And
version.
also kind of, it doesn't have full control of its limbs yet. So it's just like a little confused rhino, and they're so cute. They're like a puppy in a rhino's body, and they're just brilliant to watch. Just like run and play and working out like what it could eat and what it could lick and what things tasted like. Like, I saw it licking just a rock randomly, like following its mum round and realising the mum wasn't where it thought it was, so like panicking and then running in the different direction. Like, just
And I feel
so
like as
fantastic.
well, you don't really see adult rhinos zooming around that much.
No.
So seeing a little baby rhino doing some zoomies.
Yeah, just full of like energy and
Yeah.
like just so full of like spunk and like just love for everything. I am just like so enamored by it. Just love it, love it, love it. Yeah, and that was the final baby. I won't talk about it too much because I know you're jealous you didn't get to see it.
I am very jealous.
Yes,
That's the 3 Bs.
the 3Bs. The other thing that was new to us that doesn't fit into the 3Bs, so I didn't include it, was the plant project. Now, you don't remember it very much.
No, I don't remember.
But
it. I definitely in it?
Yes, we definitely went through it.
I
with
think
Connor
once
and
you
Steph.
describe it to me, I'll remember it.
So next to one of the cafes, which I think is closed for, like, it looked not fully functional when we were there.
Oh, I do remember this.
There's
Was
a
there like a
little bit
little separate
tucked-
house in it that you could go and see an orchid?
Yes, so like there was
Yes,
little
yes.
tucked in, yes, and it had like all sorts of different like cacti.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
Yeah, so they have the plant project, which I think is actually excellent. I think it's fantastic. I think gardens make up such a huge and important part of a zoo and the atmosphere that are there.
Mm-hmm.
The only, like, so you go into this, like, greenhouse, you have a walk around, you see all these fabulous plants. The only comment I would have on this that was at all critical is it's so sidelined.
Yeah, well, that's why I couldn't really remember it, because it's almost like a little side note. Like, this is up here if you want to come and see it, or you can just keep going on the main route.
Yeah, and, like, it's filled with fantastic, beautiful species of plants from around the world, of all shapes, sizes, all sorts of defense mechanisms, all sorts of colours, all sorts of wonderful, fabulous things. And if you go to Chester, I really would take the time to nip round it and just have a look. But it's just randomly placed next to this cafe, kind of shoved to the side.
Yeah.
And there's barely any signage to it. It just is this weird kind of,
It's like
we
an
have this.
afterthought. Yeah.
When I think it deserves a lot more than that. And I think last time we did praise Chester for their work with greenhouses and how they have these national plant collections, and that's fantastic. But it's only fantastic if you make the most of it.
Yeah.
If you have the plants and then don't mention them,
yeah.
what's the point,
What's the point
like,
of having them?
Well, that's maybe an exaggeration because obviously there's conservation value in having them. But what's the point of having them from a visitor perspective? I
Yeah.
guess is the case. Like,
Maybe though, like when that cafe that is next to it is open, more people do encounter it, because if you're going in and out of the cafe, that area is going to be busier, so then people are going
but
to
then
notice
you might,
it.
if you're walking past, look at that and go, "I'm not going in there because it looks so busy. I don't want to have to push all the cafe traffic."
Maybe.
So I think it could work either way.
Maybe it's just in an awkward space then.
Yeah.
It just needs to be somewhere else.
Yeah, so I would consider promoting that more, or I would consider thinking about that more, because I really do
Yeah.
think it's a really good resource, especially because plants are so hard to sell to people. Like, animals are charismatic, they're fluffy, they're
Yeah,
cute, they
they'll
have
sell
big round
themselves.
eyes, they have big ears, and they kind of, people can place, even if they don't have really a personality, people can place values and traits onto animals quite easily because they can see themselves in them because they have similar features to us. Plants don't have that. So having this resource and not using it to the absolute most for all visitors, I think is a missed opportunity, because plants too often fall into the background. And I don't get to, this isn't Botanical Gardens, it's ReZOO. So when a zoo has that resource that is there, use it. Use it.
Okay.
I don't get to talk about
Welcome
botanic
to
gardens
Jack's
enough.
TED Talk.
I know, I don't get to talk about botanic gardens enough, and I do love them. And so I think when a zoo has it, it should be like, especially because I think like they're like Chester Zoo is part of like botanic gardens institutions. Like it is listed on I think the BGen website as like a member and like all that sort of stuff, which is Botanic Garden Education Network. So do more with your plants. Big props for having them because a lot of zoos don't even try.
Yeah.
But like since you have them, do 100% to use them to the very best because I think they're so important and so wonderful.
Okay.
So that is the plant project and my rant about plants.
Lovely.
My plant rant.
Moving on from the plant rant.
Yes, so that's kind of all of the elements of the zoo, I suppose, that we had missed out on or had changed since the last time that are kind of like physical elements.
Yes.
Well, there is one more, I guess, which is Heart of Africa, which has closed about a third of the zoo. So yeah, they've closed a large part of the zoo now to start this Heart of Africa project that they're doing. But obviously, we can't really comment on what that is because it hasn't. We don't know because it hasn't really been built yet. But like, or what it will be. The plans are online. You can go and have a look. It sounds really interesting. But it does mean like a lot of the zoo is closed. They've done their best to relocate animals to places you can see them. Like you can still see the cheetah. You can still see the hunting dogs and stuff. Like, because the hunting dogs are going in where the cheetahs were, the cheetahs are off somewhere else. Like, so they've done their best, but the other thing that has changed physically, I guess, is that.
Yes.
Which, I guess in 2025, when it's finished, there will be ReZOOnited Part 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever.
Whatever we're on by that point.
Yes. So, yes. What was I saying? Yes. So that's another physical element.
Yep.
The other things we wanted to touch on were less physical elements because there are events that we went to at the zoo.
Yes.
So the experiences that we've had at the zoo have been affected and impacted by two things. The Youth Symposium, which Jodi attended last year with me, and I attended this year by myself. And then the Christmas lights, which Jodi attended last year with me, and I attended this year as well. So I guess to start off, the Youth Symposium was a fantastic event. For people who don't know, Chester Zoo has a youth board. They run this event now 2 years in a row where they get young people together who are interested in conservation and kind of get them to talk about their experiences. They have young presenters. They have people sharing their experiences and stories and inspiring each other. And it's a really wholesome, good, wonderful event that takes place in the zoo. And so we wanted to mention it because we didn't really mention it last year. But I think it's something worth highlighting. So, Jodi, what were your thoughts on last year's Youth Symposium? And then I'll touch on this year's as well.
Well, I went last year kind of just to accompany you. Like, you were going down because you were speaking, and we didn't have much of a relationship with Chester by that point. So we went down there, and I was just going to accompany you, but I was really glad that I had gone by the end of it, you know, in my own right. And I think even if you're not going as like a representative of a zoo or some sort of like conservation charity or whatever, if you just even have an interest in it, then go, because it is still for you, even if you're not working in the sector. If you have an interest in it, a passion for it, just go, because it is so inspiring. Like, I went away from it so inspired and like invigorated, and it just really was wholesome. You said wholesome a minute ago, and it really was. Like, it's just nice sometimes to be in a room with like-minded people who are all passionate about the same thing you are. And it was just, it just felt like it was so refreshing. And as we talked about a lot, sometimes the world of conservation can feel a bit dreary because we're focusing on all the difficult things that we need to work on and change. So going in and really celebrating all the positive stuff, it was so uplifting, and you went away from it really feeling like refreshed and re-inspired and energized. It was great.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I dragged you there the first time because I was speaking, and I spoke again this year because you can't shut me up. And it was just like, it was equally as inspiring this year as it was last.
Yeah.
I think the people that went, a lot were the same and some were different. And like, it was nice to kind of like catch up with people, but also meet new exciting people, make some really great connections. And like, it just was a really good, wholesome, as I said, amazing time. And like, I heard from amazing people who were talking about politics, who were talking about art, or who were talking about podcasting and internet stuff, who were talking about zoos work, who were talking about writing books, who were talking about all sorts of stuff. And it's just this great event that celebrates young voices, and I couldn't hype it up enough.
And I should mention, the reason I didn't go back this year was not because I didn't like it.
I hated it. It was dreadful.
No, I would have gone, but last year it was on at a weekend, so we
Yeah.
went down on the Friday and we were able to stay for the weekend. But this year it was on Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
So because I now work Monday to Friday, I was not able to go. But otherwise, I totally would have been there. And also, it's interesting to think, like when you think about it, so many of the people that have been on the podcast this season, or
Yeah.
like people that we're now friends with and we've gone and like visited at other zoos when we've gone on trips, or they've come up to Edinburgh and visited us, we only met because of that event.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just crazy
It's
that
really
it's now
weird.
a year later and we've kept in contact with a lot of these people and it's opened a lot of doors. And it's bizarre to think one little event that we didn't know what to expect of it actually ended up having such an impact.
It completely changed the trajectory. And this is really strange of like looking back, because I think in conservation and education and stuff, it can be really hard to track impact, because when you have kids in front of you or you have an audience in front of you, whoever you're talking to, you know how they feel in that moment, but you don't know how they feel down the line. But I think what's really interesting is like now, a year looking back, I know the impact of that first event, and I know the impact of the second, or what hopefully the impact of the second event will be, which was the trajectory of the way I view things, and my life and the podcast and everything changed dramatically at that point, because it inspired me more, because I like at the last event, because I met so many fantastic people and then found guests to help boost the podcast in a way that made the podcast bigger. I found friendships that I never would have had, and now consider some of the people I met some of my closest like friends. And like it's just been so fantastic, and I think that's something that wouldn't have experienced, like the show would never, like even ReZOO probably wouldn't have happened without it. Like all of these things like happened because of it, and all of these other experiences have happened because of it. And now like me and Connor stayed together this year to go to the symposium, even though like having met at last year's and then this year, like over the last year becoming friends, and like to the point where this year we stayed together and went, like it's this weird like amazingly great thing where you just meet
just one of these events
people
that you happen to stumble into and now look like
exactly
your life looks completely different because of it. So
the
moral of that story is sign up to next year's Youth Symposium, guys.
but not let me buy my tickets first, because no, I thought it was really, really great, and like so many fantastic speakers. I hope they do it again next year. And I like that, like it a lot.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Before we start crying because of how
Let's
wonderful
move on
and emotional
swiftly.
it is, let's move on to the next point.
The other events that we went to were Christmas light events.
Yes.
So all zoos seem to do Christmas light events now.
Yeah.
And I guess this is kind of like, this will be coming out probably sometime in January, February after Christmas. But I think it's worthwhile talking about these events just for a second to get your opinion on them and kind of, what did you think of Chester's specifically? Obviously, you've not seen this year's event.
No, but you told me it was quite similar.
I would say so. Yeah, maybe I open it up then.
Okay.
Like so, yeah. Chester Zoo had a lanterns event last year when I went, 2021. Fantastic, loved it. Thought the lanterns were brilliant. So many different species represented. Puppets of like wolves and cassowaries and like all sorts of orangutans and like big massive lanterns of elephants, and it was so beautiful and fantastic, and I really loved it. Really, really loved it. This year, it was pretty much exactly the same thing. It was organised in a slightly different way, but the lanterns themselves were fundamentally pretty much the same lanterns.
Okay.
So I would say 2 years in a row it was slightly less impactful, and I would maybe have liked to see some more diversity. And I know it's not particularly sustainable to every year build an entirely new set of Christmas lights, but I do think that there is perhaps, they could have maybe invested more on some new lights rather than just a different order you see the lights in.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I thought it was really cool. I like overall still enjoyed it both times, but would have liked to see some variation. And I do think like there's got to be a better solution to this, because every year every zoo in the UK does a Christmas light show, and every zoo in the UK probably attracts different audiences, and every zoo in the UK probably wants to do something sustainable. So what I don't understand, and what I think would be a really interesting concept, is like, you know, you get these travelling exhibitions of like plastic dinosaurs or big animatronic bugs or like whatever it is.
Yeah.
I do think what could have been an effective thing, and like if someone can corner the market on this if they're not doing it already, is just a company that runs or tries to run these events for about as many zoos as they can, and just every year they swap the lanterns
them all
around.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, I feel like a couple of places have fallen into that, where either they do something completely different, which isn't particularly sustainable, or they do something, like, similar, which isn't particularly thrilling when you're paying a huge amount for a ticket. Like, you're like, oh, I saw this and it was 20 quid last year and it's another 20 quid to see the same thing. Like, someone should be doing this, where they're just swapping these lanterns around.
Well, I have thoughts on this. So, and I feel like we are perhaps spoiled, because I feel like Scotland, especially around Edinburgh, there are so many Christmassy light shows, not just in the zoo, like loads of places, the Botanics, the Castle, like everywhere seems to do light shows. We've been to so many of them. So to go back to your earlier question about my first impression of the Chester Zoo ones, I did like them. However, I think we've been spoiled, because if you saw the Edinburgh Zoo lanterns,
they were fantastic.
Not the light show, but the actual proper lanterns.
When they did the Chinese, the tie-in with the pandas.
To me, and this is not just bias because we worked for Edinburgh Zoo. Like, genuinely, of all the light shows I've seen, those lanterns were something else. And no light show, even ones that I've loved in subsequent years, no light show has ever beaten them, because they were just something else. They were another level. So having seen them, when you then went to Chester, it was kind of a similar idea, but on a slightly smaller scale. So for me, although I enjoyed them, they didn't overtake Edinburgh in my ranking of which ones were my favourite. But they did have some aspects that were a little bit different that made them stand out.
Like, so, the puppetry.
You mentioned puppets. If anyone's listened to previous ReZOOs,
you hate puppets.
You know that I hate puppets. However, Jack, I will make an exception for these lantern puppets, because they weren't creepy, they were stunning.
Yeah.
So it was like a person, like what would you call it, a puppeteer?
Yes.
I don't know.
A human puppet.
Yeah,
like a huge...
like dressed completely in black so that you couldn't see them in the dark, and then they were like controlling. They were almost like half built into the costumes a lot of the time. Like, maybe they'd be the legs, and then the arms were being controlled by sticks, and like I remember those wolf ones moving around. It was mesmerising. Really clever idea and well done. And that was good, because it then was a mix of walking around looking at stationary lanterns, and then also having a bit of interaction, and that was lovely. And do you also remember one of the first lanterns you came across was one of these live puppet ones, and it was like a giant bug? Was it like a butterfly or a caterpillar, just like bouncing about? Yeah. So that was quite a nice little novelty. So I quite enjoyed that aspect, that it was a way to have lanterns but have it be interactive.
Yes.
I think that was different. Okay. And I was also thinking, when you mentioned at the end there about how it's perhaps not as impactful when you just kind of have the same idea every year. And then I was thinking about the Botanics, maybe just because I went a couple of weeks ago.
The Botanics, what is the Botanics? For people who aren't in Scotland?
It's Edinburgh's Royal Botanic Garden.
Yes.
So it's a big botanic garden, but they do a light show. And they're slightly different every year. There's a few features, like the favourites, that are always the same, like the big light tunnel thing that you walk through.
I'm going to put this out there. We don't need to see a picture of you in a light tunnel every Christmas.
No, but we do, because it's beautiful. It's beautiful, Jack, and that's why it's back every year.
Yes.
So those elements are the same, but then there's other elements that are changed up a little bit. So like the Botanics you could accuse of being a little bit samey, because there's bits that are similar, but I never find that it's less impactful. Like, I always go and love what I've seen at the Botanics. So I don't know that it is just like, if you have the same things, you won't like it. I think it's how you do it, almost. But I don't know. I've lost my train of thought there, but that's just...
But I think, I agree with you in a large part, but I think the difference is the Botanics, when they do it, every year they kind of have 2 or 3 repeats. Where they're like, here were the hits. Like, so they had like the big fire lanterns last year, and they had big fire lanterns this year that were very similar. They had the kind of light tunnel was the same light tunnel. But the majority of things are new.
Yeah, maybe like a similar idea.
But reformatted in some way. When the lanterns are the same lanterns again and again and again, it does get a bit samey, so I would like to have seen more variation, but I do see why you can't do that. So it's like this impossible problem of like, until somebody makes a company that does these and moves them around, there's really no solution there, because it's not, I don't know, but it's just something I thought about. And
I think it is lovely. Like, if there's no other light shows in your area, still go, because it's just a nice event to do at Christmas time, and I love a Christmas light show.
Yes.
But for us, because we up here in Scotland were spoilt for choice and we could go to a different thing every year, we probably would choose to go somewhere different rather than go back to this one if it's just going to be the same thing. But families and kids and stuff would love it because it's just a Christmassy event.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair. Yeah. Okay, well, and on that note, after we've trashed Christmas, no, we love Christmas. So after, I feel like we were positive but conundrum-y about that one.
Yeah,
I feel like someone solve that for us, please.
We're just lantern snobs because we've been spoiled.
Yes. And if you don't know what we're talking about with Edinburgh Zoo lanterns, go and look up pictures of the year they did like the dinosaurs and stuff, because they are some of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. So do that. Yes, so that kind of brings us to the end of everything we wanted to talk about. It has taken us another hour to talk about Chester.
We said we were going to try and do this in half an hour.
And we just haven't.
No.
So I think what we need to do is wrap up. Final thoughts. I think for this section, obviously we don't want to have to do 2 stars and a wish and all sorts of stuff, because it's meant to be slightly different format for this ReZOOnited. But what I thought we could do is 1 new star. And nothing is ever perfect, so 1 wish. We're cutting a star, but 1 new star and 1 wish of something you'd like to see improve even more in the future. So what would your star be?
Capybara.
Easy.
Yeah, done. Tick, move on.
Fair. I would say my star of stuff that we discussed today was the Youth Symposium, I suppose. I love it. It's a fantastic event. Go. Love it. And wish, something that could continue to improve.
Something that could continue to improve. What did I say anything negative during this review that I could turn into a wish? Can't even remember. No. Oh, one thing though that you were going to mention was your wish for last time.
Don't throw this back on me. I was going to mention that later, but I will. I'll mention it. Okay.
I thought you'd forgotten.
Second bonus star.
Right. Okay.
Is that last time my wish was the app is fantastic. They have an app that's like a map that you can use to like go around and see everything. But my complaint was it was hard to orientate yourself on the map because you couldn't move. Like you couldn't rotate the map. It always stayed like north. No matter what way you were facing, you couldn't move the map around. Like it always stayed in a fixed position, which I found difficult to orientate yourself because you'd have to turn your whole phone rather than turning the map on the phone screen. So I would say, what I wanted to say was they've changed that. And so that's a big tick for me. So second bonus star for me. But then,
lovely.
Have you thought of a wish yet? Or are you stalling?
I'm just thinking, I'm trying to think of anything that was tricky. I feel like the only tricky moment that we had was when it came to lunchtime. I feel like we kind of struggled to find somewhere to eat. And we did eventually, but I feel like there wasn't as much choice as there was last time. And I can't remember why that was. I don't know if things were closed or getting refurbished or what was going on. And we kind of went at the same time of year, so it's not like it was a winter thing.
Where did we end up having lunch? Oh, we went to that little like snack stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that, there seemed to be less going on in terms of food. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a big deal because we still got something. I just remember last time there was loads and that was really good, and yet this time there wasn't as much choice, and I'm not sure why. I
think maybe it had something to do with, like, I feel like last time when we went, the Lanterns food stalls were open during the day as well as in the evening. And because we got pizza last year, and this year it wasn't open and stuff. Or maybe the queue was long. I can't remember.
I don't know. I can't remember. So my vague wish is something to do with food. But
Fair.
I don't even know what I'm really saying there. But just, that's the only criticism that I can think of from when I was there.
Is that because we're recording this before dinner?
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
And we've got people that listen just for the food options. Yeah. So, gotta throw that out there for them.
I guess my wish would be...
the plant thing, maybe?
Yes.
Your plant rant?
Yes, I think so. I think the plants need to be highlighted more. That's not to say they're bad. It's not to say it's not great, but it is to say that you don't, in my opinion, direct people to it enough, and people won't gain as much of an appreciation for plants as they should do and could do with the resources that you have there.
Yes, so point them to the plants.
Yes, especially because all the other signage around the zoo is so fantastic. I feel like you just need to... Go that way. That way. Fair. Perfect. Now, do we do a word? I feel like we don't need to do a word. We did one last time.
Yeah.
which it set the bar last time. Do we still think
did.
Chester sets the bar, or do we think we've been somewhere better? Has the bar been exceeded?
There's been other places I've loved, but I still think it's probably if someone just on the spot said, "What's the best zoo you've been to?" I still think I'd probably say Chester.
Interesting.
Why? Do you think a different one now?
Yes.
Oh.
But we will be
Are you
leaving
saving
that
Uh-huh.
because later this year we will be doing, to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of ReZOO, a whole special of awards for different zoos. And I don't want to tell you now who I think is better than Chester.
Okay.
Because I think...
That's fine. Leave it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it on a cliffhanger.
People have to listen.
Listeners, see if you can guess. Write to me. Let me know who you think and what you think. Yeah.
Oh, I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, I know. Jodi doesn't even know my thoughts.
No.
So...
Oh, look out for that then,
yeah,
listeners.
no.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon.
Oh, no. We started with a pun and we're ending with one.
Yes. Thank you so much for putting up with us, listeners. I hope you enjoyed this ReZOOnited episode. I hope you've had a wonderful time reflecting on Chester with us and all of the changes that have happened in the last year since we last went.
Thanks for sticking with us for a year of ReZOOs.
Yeah. Now, as I say, we'll be doing some more coming up very soon. We've got a Blair Drummond Safari Park ReZOO coming. We've got an episode all about the ReZOOies, the awards that we're going to be giving out very soon. And we've just had a great time, and I'm excited to tell you more about all of these various things that we've done. But that is the end of today's episode. So thank you so much for listening. You can find the podcast on your streaming service of choice, so make sure to subscribe and so you don't miss out on anything that's coming up. Also follow us on social media at Pangolin Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere you can get podcasts and social media. And also you can follow me on social media at The Only Jack Baker on Instagram and at Only Jack Baker on Twitter. And that's everything, I think.
Yeah.
So, until next time, thank you so much for joining us once again, guys. And goodbye.
Bye.